With 4 newcomers and just 9 teams total, the Conference USA very well could be the worst conference, and not just the group of 5, but in all of college football. But we're going to predict them anyways. So welcome back to the Gridiron Expert, guys, ready to break down our Conference USA predictions for this upcoming college football season. As always, please continue to like, comment, subscribe, share our videos. Of course, check out everything down in the description below, including our expert picks over on our website, thegridironexpert.com. Again, if you want some of the best college football and NFL spread picks in the country with a guaranteed winning record, guaranteed winnings right back in your pocket, and the guaranteed best customer service you'll get out of any handicapper in the country, this is a place for you. No doubt about it. One of the lowest prices in the country for some of the best picks in the country, as we beat out over 80% of the national handicappers each of the last 5 years. We can guarantee all those things we just said, so go sign up today. The season starts in like a week and a half, August 26th. It's right around the corner, so go sign up for those today before the picks, before the season starts, so you can take advantage of all of our picks. Also, check out our Patreon account as well. Exclusive college football content there year-round. Become a member of that Patreon Wall of Fame. And send us some gear. We'd love to get some more gear in our background here to expand our GE Nation. We've got some Liberty gear, thanks to our man Wahoo Brad. So we've got some Conference USA gear, one of those 4 newcomers we mentioned. But we'd love even more, especially helmet-wise. So send us some gear, mailing address down in the description below for your team or whoever it may be, so we can continue to expand our GE Nation from coast to coast and conference to conference. So let's not delay any further. Let's pull up that Conference USA graphic. Let's get to it. It's wild, guys. The wild, I know more teams are coming, right? Next year, we're going to have more teams coming to the Conference USA. So it won't just be at 9 teams forever. It's kind of like a bit of a placeholder. But this year, it's interesting. 4 newcomers, as we mentioned, Liberty and New Mexico State, both coming in from the Independent. Sam Houston and Jacksonville State, both coming in from the FCS level, now in the first year at the FBS level. So 9 teams only in the Conference USA, only 5 teams staying in the conference from last year, 5 teams that know the conference. So it's just a weird setup. One of the weirdest and maybe the weakest conference in college football, but will get better as time goes on. But you can see right now, we have our Conference USA Championship coming down between Western Kentucky and Liberty. And we'll go ahead and break them down for you. Western Kentucky and Liberty both at 7-1 in conference play, but we have Western Kentucky at the top of the standings. Why? Because we think the Hilltoppers win in the regular season against the Flames. And again, overall record doesn't really come down to the tiebreaker here. But you look at Western Kentucky, guys, a team that went 9-5 last year. They returned one of the best quarterbacks, not just in the group of 5, but I would say in the country, a top 20, top 25 quarterback in the country. Austin Reed thought about transferring out, thought about maybe going to Louisville, decided to come back to Western Kentucky, where he threw for over 4,700 yards and 40 touchdowns last year, had 48 total touchdowns on the year. Malachi Corley returns as the top wide receiver, over 1,000 yards. 4 starters are back on defense, one that was actually pretty solid last year, allowing just 23.4 points per game. This is, without a doubt, to me, the best team in the Conference USA this year. No doubt about it. It's a weak conference as it is, but Western Kentucky is no slouch, especially offensively. Austin Reed and that offense are going to be so tough to stop. And the Hilltoppers find themselves with a pretty favorable schedule, enough where they might be able to clinch a double-digit win season in the regular season, but maybe in the postseason if they can at least get that 9-win mark like we have them. Liberty, on the other hand, at 10-2, 7-1 as well, is entering their first year of the Jamie Chadwell era. Chadwell leaving Coastal Carolina to become the head coach of the Flames, and we know how legit he is. We know how great of a coach that he is. Caden Salter returns at quarterback. Liberty kind of going through a myriad of quarterbacks last year, but Salter should come in as the go-to starter. 5 starters back on offense, 3 on defense. Many are going to say new coach, not a lot of experience. Liberty should take a bit of a step back after their 8-win season last year. We're going to say no. Why? Because the Flames face the easiest schedule in the country. They're already playing in a pretty weak conference, but even the non-conference is really favorable for the Flames. And Western Kentucky is going to be one of, if not the toughest team that they face all year long. So Jamie Chadwell, knowing what he's done at Coastal Carolina, knowing the talent that he has coming back for Liberty, has an opportunity to do something really special here, to clinch a 10-win season or more in the regular season, maybe win a conference championship in their first year within the conference. So Liberty, guys, the Flames, no joke. Despite losing a lot of talent, that schedule lines up perfectly for them and sets them up for a perfect transition from the Independents to conference play. Underneath Liberty, UTEP in at 8-4, 6-2 in conference play. And here's the thing. You talk to most people, they're going to say they're going to base it off a recency bias, right? You're going to UTEP historically has not been very good, so we're going to peg them at 3-9, 4-8, 5-7, like they were last year, and we're going to say not so fast. Again, the schedule lines up perfectly for UTEP, and this team has a lot of talent, guys. They were 5-7 last year with 2 one-possession losses. They should have gone bowling last year had it not been for a 24-point blown lead to UTSA in the season finale. But now they bring in a veteran quarterback, or at least return a veteran quarterback in Gavin Hardison. They have Deion Hankins back at running back after rushing over 700 yards last year. Tyron Smith returns. He was a 1,000-yard receiver for the Miners last year. 7 starters are back on defense after giving up just 353 yards per game. This UTEP team, guys, is legit. And they actually could be playing for a Conference USA championship. They are one upset win away or one upset loss by Western Kentucky or Liberty, whoever it may be, from playing for a Conference USA title. That's how good the Miners can be. This is maybe Dana Dimel's best team yet with UTEP. The schedule lines up well, the talent lines up well, and the Miners, we believe, are 8-4, 6-2. Even if you don't want them there, regardless, the Miners are going bowling and should finish the year with a winning record. That is how good this team can be. Same can be said for New Mexico State. The Aggies played 13 games, and a major shout out to our guy, New Mexico Noah. Can't wait to hear your thoughts on the Aggies this year. But 7-6, playing 13 games. They went 7-6 last year. Shocked the country, right? Jerry Kill comes in. We said, look, he's a good coach. I'd want to play for him, but it's going to take some time to rebuild this program. And he goes, time is like a couple games for me. 7-6, wins a bowl game, their first bowl win and bowl appearance since 2017. Now 9 starters are back. Diego Pavia is back at quarterback. Star Thomas is back at running back. All but one of their wide receivers and pass catchers is back this year, so the offense is loaded. 4 starters are back on defense. They allowed less than 24 points per game last year. This New Mexico State team, guys, is sneaky good. They carry a lot of momentum in from last year. They benefited from the bowl practices. Jerry Kill exceeding expectations. And with somewhat of a veteran/experienced team, New Mexico State will find themselves with a winning record once again and will find themselves back in the postseason. I don't think they can win the Conference USA. I don't think they're at the same level right now of Western Kentucky, Liberty, maybe even UTEP. But regardless, this is a bowl team, no doubt about it. Middle Tennessee coming in at 6-6. The last bowl team we have in the Conference USA this season. This is year 18. Year 18 for Rick Stockstill in Murfreesboro. That's pretty wild to think about. Last year, 8-5. That's what they went. They went 8-5 last year. But now they lose a lot of talent, right? They lose quite a bit of talent. They have some questions on offense. They really don't know exactly who their quarterback's going to be. The offense might not be as good as they need to be. They do return 8 starters on defense, though. That's what the Blue Raiders are going to rely on, at least early on, is the strength of their defense. And you look at Middle Tennessee last year, kind of struggled a little bit. They upset Miami, still faltered, finished the season strong with that upset win over San Diego State in the bowl game. This year, we think they get back to a bowl game, but they'll struggle out the gate again with their first 2 games coming against Alabama and Missouri, opening the year up on the road against back-to-back SEC teams. Not ideal, but the Blue Raiders will mellow out. They'll start to pick it up in conference play, and they will go bowling again under Rick Stockstill. Louisiana Tech's entering year 2 under Sonny Cumbie. And look, they've got a great quarterback coming in. Hank Bachmeier transferring in from Boise State. It's going to give his offense, Cumbie an offensive mind, a major boost. 8 starters back on that side of the ball, along with Bachmeier's stability at that position, is going to give the Bulldogs an opportunity to flirt with bowl eligibility. But I just don't think they get over the hump to that 6th win. And the major reason why is their defense. 4 starters back on defense after giving up nearly 38 points per game last year, over 243 rushing yards per game last year. That's a concern for me. Do I think the defense improves? Yes, but it's not going to improve by that much. Teams are still going to have their way with Louisiana Tech, and I just don't think the Bulldogs can find a way to snag one extra upset win in there to get to that 6th win. So they show improvement, go from 3 wins to 5 wins in year 2 under Cumbie, but can't get over the hump to the postseason. Coming in the bottom part of the Conference USA, the bottom third, Sam Houston. The first FCS team we're going to talk about here, coming in from the FCS to the FBS. Look, I love Casey Keeler. I love what he's doing with the Bearcats. This is a team, guys, that won the FCS National Championship in that COVID season. Back in the spring of 2021, the Bearcats won the national championship. They returned 16 starters. The defense is loaded. 9 starters back. And you got to keep in mind, Sam Houston last year redshirted a lot of their players in preparation for this move to the FBS. So, this is a team that I think is going to be a lot more competitive than people realize. This isn't your traditional FCS to FBS move where the team just tanks. They're going to be a lot more competitive. But Sam Houston has to figure out their offense. Only 18.3 points per game last year. Still have questions on that side of the ball. And if you look at their schedule, there's a possibility they start 0-3. They have to go to BYU. They play Air Force in Houston, and they play Houston on the road. So those are their first 3 games. Could start 0-3. They still have to go to Liberty. They still have to go to Western Kentucky. Do I think Sam Houston's competitive? Yes. Do I think they're physical? Yes. Do I think they, hold their own for the most part? Yes. But do I think they rack up the wins? No. It's going to take a little bit of time. They go 3-9, but do get 2 conference wins, which is huge for this program. Florida International in at 2-10. Some say how? How do they regress? How do they regress from 4-8 to 2-10 under Mike McIntyre? Well, it's because their offense still has some questions. The defense is still absolutely atrocious, and the schedule is absolutely brutal with road games at Louisiana Tech, hosting North Texas in the non-conference, certainly not going to be easy. At UConn, a team that knows how to run the ball extremely well, and the Panthers, horrible run defense. And a road game at Arkansas, just to name a few. Those just 4 of those games. The Panthers guys, again, will be competitive. I do believe they're competitive, kind of like they were towards the end of last year, but not enough to go bowling, not enough to even flirt with bowl eligibility at all. They take a little bit of a step back to 2-10. And the seller of the Conference USA is Jacksonville State, also going 2-10, 1-7. Again, their first year out of the FCS, joining the FBS. Getting Zion Webb back at quarterback is huge. Getting him that extra year of eligibility is huge. Their coach, Rich Rodriguez, a phenomenal coach, going to do well with Jacksonville State. I think it's a good guy that you want leading this transition. But playing an FBS team in every single week is going to be extremely difficult. This is the team that allowed nearly 180 rushing yards per game last year. They still have non-conference games at Coastal Carolina and South Carolina. The conference slate, not going to be easy when you're playing teams at Western Kentucky and Liberty and UTEP and guys like that. Jacksonville State, similar to Sam Houston, is competitive, holds their own at times, even gets a conference win in there, but is going to go through a learning curve, is going to go through this tough transition period to the FBS, but could find themselves in a much better spot at the beginning of next year, and if not next year, certainly in 2025. So with all that being said, guys, the Conference USA Championship game we do have being a Liberty at Western Kentucky. Liberty at Western Kentucky. We have the Hilltoppers winning the conference in the regular season, therefore it will be played at Western Kentucky, and we do believe that in the end, the Hilltoppers will win the conference. There is no doubt about this in my mind. Liberty is a dang good team, and they're going to give them everything they've got. But Western Kentucky owns a significant offensive edge. These teams, to me, are relatively similar defensively. The Hilltoppers will own the home field advantage in this game. This is a conference title that has kind of eluded them the last few years, but this is the year they finally get over the hump. They finally clinch a conference title. They clinch a double-digit win season and will find themselves in a very solid bowl game with a shot at an 11-win season. The Hilltoppers are the real deal, guys. They were last year. They are again this year. And if they want to win a conference title, this is going to be the chance to do it with as weak as the conference is. 4 newcomers, only 9 teams. This is the chance to take advantage of it and get there. And I believe the Hilltoppers do just that. So there you have it, guys. Those are your Conference USA predictions heading into the 2023 college football season. Maybe the weakest conference, but something to keep your eye on. Anytime you get newcomers into a conference, it's always fun to watch. It's always an intriguing storyline. And hey, you never know what can happen. It's why you play the games. Anything can happen on any given Saturday. And of course, we'll be supporting all those newcomers to this conference. But ultimately, Western Kentucky getting the nod and getting the conference championship they have so desperately been craving. Once again, guys, we want to thank you so much for watching us here at the Gridiron Expert on YouTube. Make sure to continue to like, comment, subscribe, share our videos, and check out everything down in the description below, including those expert picks, including our Patreon account, and including our mailing address. Check it out. Send us some gear. Buy those expert picks over on thegridironexpert.com. If you want the best picks in the country, some exclusive content, and a chance to represent your team in every single video, you can access all that down in the description below. And once again, guys, as always, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time right here on the Gridiron Expert.
Yeah.